Arsenal Fan TV America, welcome back. Another episode. Hey, listen, everyone says, well, there's not a whole lot of football, soccer going on around the world. I say, no, there is. Of course, there is. There's always important games. Actually, there is the Champions League for Africa, the finals for Africa, which is the first time ever I see that a final is played on two legs. So, hey, listen, lots and lots change in soccer now. Technology, adding this, adding that. Before, it was a whole lot, of time, a lengthy amount of time before they change something else and, what about the game, of course, about the rules. So today, this is a very important game, Al Ahly, which is the Egyptian champion, and also not just the Egyptian champion, the African champion that everybody fear, play Casablanca, Wydad Casablanca, which is a Moroccan team. Of course, the Moroccan, team is inspired by what his country team has done. Wydad, Morocco has done tremendous in the World Cup, and they have great players, and some of them actually played for Wydad that made Al Ahly. The game was played where? In Cairo Stadium, full capacity, of course, for the Red Devils, for the African Red Devils, for the Ahly. Again, one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious club in Africa, most decorated when it comes to trophies around Africa, and in Egypt, of course, as the number one club. A lot of history with Ahly Football Club. The game was a very good sort of tactical game. And when we say that, that means it was boring. So when it's something tactical, that means they're standing each other's off. They're trying not to attack a whole lot. However, in the second half, Al Ahly exampled world-class football. They start passing and moving, but unfortunately did not result in anything. They were up 2-0 all the way, almost towards the end of the game when the Wydad team was able to score a goal, which is going to be very, very crucial. Why? Because now it's 2-1. The second game is played in Morocco, and that's Wydad's home. So if they just win 1-0, they can qualify or get a penalty kick. So, of course, it's going to be easier for them to win it out there. However, Al Ahly is not a team that you write off and you just brush aside. No, they go anywhere in Africa, and they always show up. They have a lot of heart, and they play, to defend the name, and they always show why they're the African champions. So we're going to move on from Africa. A great game. Again, you should go look at it. It was very competitive towards the end. It's very competitive throughout the whole game, but towards the end especially. Anyways, again, they are going to be playing a second game to determine the African Champions League winner. Yeah, that's how big. And then we're going to go from African Champions League winner to Real Madrid, right, which is that won the European Champions League, one of the most, if not the most decorated club competition that is. And it's also in the world of soccer, it ranks right after the World Cup. So we go to Real Madrid. Why first? Of course, we're going to talk about Arsenal. We're going to talk about what's happening in Arsenal. We're going to talk about what's happening in the Premier League in general. We're going to talk about France. We're going to talk about a lot through this show. So, number one, if you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor. Do it. Just get down, hit that button, subscribe. Also like and share so others can enjoy, and hopefully enjoy our episode. So, going back to Real Madrid, 14 times champion. They just got out on City's hands. They didn't like that. So all of a sudden, let's start with their most important player, basically, the Ballon d'Or. The winner of the Ballon d'Or, which is the best player in the world, basically. Karim Benzema. So Karim Benzema came out last week, says, listen, I have a contract to see out with Real Madrid. I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. And all of a sudden, this week, Real Madrid and Karim Benzema reached an agreement that he will depart the club. 14 years Karim Benzema is with Real Madrid. Do you recognize that this last move kind of thing creates also urgency on Real Madrid's behalf, right? And Real Madrid is going to act. And act on who? A player from the Premier League. But before we talk about the player from the Premier League, so it doesn't take us to the Premier League world, let's continue talking about Karim Benzema that acquired, or, his salary was, every year he gets $28 million from Real Madrid. Now, somebody from Saudi Arabia, actually Saudi Arabia's government, that's what the reports say, offered him a lump sum, maybe triples that, a year, and also a choice of going whichever club he wants. So Cristiano Ronaldo, he's at Al Nasser club in Saudi, and now Al Hilal is talking to Messi. So comes here, there's a third club, Etihad, that would be looking at signing Karim Benzema. They're trying to create, again, we said it in the last episode, a very, very, very strong soccer atmosphere, existence in Saudi Arabia, so they can go to that World Cup. They're trying to creating that soccer ambience around the country by bringing all these very expensive players. It's not just Messi and Ronaldo and Karim Benzema now, but other players that we're going to talk about when we visit the transfer market about PSG. So we go back now to Real Madrid after Karim Benzema. There's also Marco Asensio. Marco Asensio is a finisher. Marco Asensio is a great player. Real Madrid now don't give him enough playing time. It makes 9 million euros a year. So they take that also and offload Marco Asensio, that is out of contract and prefers to go to PSG. So he might be signing or going through a medical right as we speak to join Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain, of course, nobody, will say that you could get a player like Leo Messi. Let's not forget how good of a player Leo Messi is. He's a goal-scoring machine till now. He leaves PSG with winning the Ligue 1 in France, winning the French Premier League, basically, Ligue 1, the number one division in France. And he's an exceptional player. So nobody can take his place. However, Marco Asensio is one of those new additions to PSG. Of course, they have the money, so we don't know who's next. And they better hang on to Mbappe also. So let's just put that aside. Passing Marco Asensio, of course, he's a good player. Again, did a lot for Real Madrid. Go to Mariano Diaz. Mariano is one of those that's been in a club forever. Nobody ever talk about him. But now also we're hearing he's departing. Another 8 million euro going out. Wait, who else? Well, Eden Hazard had reached an agreement with Real Madrid to leave the club 1 year before contract expires. You're going to ask me why. Well, FYI, we talked about Karim Benzema, the most important player for Real Madrid in my eyes last year, and what they, year before, Ballon d'Or and Champions League football and La Liga when they won it. Not this year, of course, last year. But Eden Hazard makes more money than Karim Benzema. Karim Benzema was at 28 million, like we said, euros. Eden Hazard's contract pays him 30 million euros per season or per year. So, of course, Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid, is basically saying, you're on my side or out of my side. He's hauling. He's taking people out. He's rebuilding. And all of that because he lost in front of Man City. He's even talking to Haaland, Erling Haaland from City himself. And City's buckering right now, trying to win the triple so they can sign Haaland and, say, hey, this is the club you want to be at. But hey, Real Madrid is right on the door knocking because they need players. They don't want to see themselves out of the La Liga. They did not win the La Liga, the Spanish league, and the Champions League. So they only won the cup, Copa del Rey. Copa del Rey is the Spanish cup. Something, of course, very prestigious. But for Real Madrid, Champions League, La Liga, they want to win it every single year. So they'll do the best. Florentino Perez is a very active president. Right away, he acts. Not like other people. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. Now, Real Madrid have 28 million out. 30 million out, 9 million out, and another 8 million. There's like 75 million euros that's free to them. We all know that they already got Jude Bellingham. Who are they going to add? They have an excess of maybe 100 or more than 100 million euros to spend in transfers. They could go to whatever. They're the richest club still. They have the money. They go buy the players. And players like Karim Benzema that stays with them for 14 years and perform. So we'll see. They're still knocking on PSG's Kylian Mbappe. However, I'm going to leave Real Madrid, Spanish La Liga, by saying the following. Don't buy Harry Kane. Just don't go spend 100 million on Harry Kane. Because he's not worth it. I understand he single-handedly, kept Tottenham actually in the league this year, but the guy's just not that great. You can't replace a Karim Benzema with a Harry Kane. Sorry, with all due respect to Harry Kane, he's just not that caliber of player. He's just not. So, with that said, we're going to now go to Premier League, Harry Kane, Tottenham. Who else is talking to Harry Kane? Manchester United. You think Harry Kane is very, very loyal? He's going to stay with Tottenham? Or he's going to take the money and go to Man United or Real Madrid? I don't know if he's a Real Madrid boy. And if Manchester United matched what Real Madrid is paying, he's English. He would rather stay in England. Hey, who knows what he wants to do? Seems like he's a hot ticket. I wouldn't sign him even if it was, free. No thanks. He wouldn't fit in my game plan. I don't, like his style of play also. So we'll see. I mean, again, he's done a lot for his club and he's a noticeable, goal scorer. But no thanks, but no thanks. Anyways, we moved from Tottenham and we said Manchester United wanted to actually sign Harry Kane. Who else do they want to sign now? Yes, Declan Rice. So Declan Rice is now sitting between, would I go to Arsenal or would I go to Manchester United? Because he turned Bayern Munich away. Yes, Bayern Munich reports that Bayern Munich approached Declan Rice and he said no to a move out of the Premier League. Okay, great. Now Arsenal come in the picture because this is one of their, if not one of, it's their priority. It's supposed to be our priority as a player to sign this transfer window, Declan Rice. So what are we doing about it? Because Man United seems like they just want to take him away. And this is, I hope Arsenal does well in the transfer window because here's the problem now. When you talk about players like Declan Rice, he might go to Man United or City will snub him or somebody will pay him. No. They'll weaken us. They're not just strengthening their squad, but they're also wanting a player like him not to come to us because they know the danger if he comes to us, how he's going to fit in our system, how he's going to play with our already existing players. We have a problem in the midfield, and other clubs don't want us to fix this problem. So that's why they're approaching the people we're approaching. Manchester United after Declan Rice. Same thing with Caicedo. Arsenal Football Club fans, what I know, what I hear, what's been said, that Caicedo has already agreed personal terms, right? He agreed. So that means what are those terms, personal terms? It's the salary. It's you coming for how long and how much you're getting paid. So he agreed to that. But he's now worth 75 million euros in Brighton's eyes. Too much money in my eyes. He's 50 mil. Anyways, they don't want to let go from the 75 million. So Chelsea now comes in and say, hey, might as well. We bought all these players. You know what? Let's buy another one. They have the money. So they want Caicedo, right? And Moises Caicedo also is another problem solution or a problem solver for Arsenal in the midfield. Even though Declan Rice is still your priority, but you want both. Why? That's the only reason Man City won the league and not us. Because we couldn't have enough players to back up the players that got tired. The Thomas Partey of the world, even Granit Xhaka of the world, the Martin Odegaard that give out at the end. A lot of rumors and a lot of transfer window issues and problems. And now, and I say issues and problems because I'm talking about Arsenal. Odegaard has been approached by PSG today. So we have to move, and we have to move quick to secure our players. Our leadership in the club has to take immediate, quick actions to finalize these flying deals out there. William Saliba is wanted by PSG. You gotta give him a contract now. Now. You gotta make him happy right now. Because we need to add to our squad. We don't need a Martin Odegaard going to PSG for whatever reason or whatever money they throw at him, and they will. And we also don't need our best defender that because of him not being around, we gave the league away. Of course, William Saliba. You got to give him what he wants. He's got to be happy. He's got to stay in Arsenal forever. Forever, as much as he can, of course, or as much as he could. So, Arsenal Football Club, we're working on Declan Rice, Caicedo, and we're also working on, keeping Odegaard, keeping Willie Saliba. Declan Rice is very important. Let's go finalize this deal, Arsenal Football Club. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And real quick, some other highlights. Manchester United, they want Mason Mount. I think they offered about 50 million in that neighborhood. They want to take him. Chelsea want to offload him. Hey, it is what it is. He's a good player. I would look at him if I'm Arsenal Football Club. I like his bursts. And before I move on from Arsenal, I don't know why the rumors about Emile Smith-Rowe are out there. That's a player that we know has potential. Now there is talk that he is leaving the club. Listen, maybe he goes on loan for more football, but I'd like to see him playing more football, at Arsenal. Why would he have to go in a loan? Why can't he just play? We need him. We need him sometimes to play for Odegaard through the middle. So, Emile Smith-Rowe, there's talk that he's leaving the club. I don't like it. I don't want to smell that smoke because there's fire somewhere. So let's just put these fires away. Let's keep our players and let's keep them happy, right? So again, going back to Premier League and the moves that we're seeing left and right and people offering. We talked about Mason Mount to Manchester United. We talked about Harry Kane to Manchester United, but also Manchester City. What happens? It seems like Erling Haaland, there's something there. There's reports that they want to secure more years on his contract and take the release clause away. I don't know the truth to that, but I also know that Real Madrid is absolutely knocking on Haaland's door. And all these players, right now, they look for financial security. So never say never. Whatever he's making in Manchester City, if he's making $250 a week or $350, easy. Real Madrid can tell him, I'm going to pay you $700. They paid Ronaldo $600. And that's back in Ronaldo's days, 1,000 euros a week. So we don't know what Real Madrid can do when they're after a player. You have to also talk about Sergio Ramos. If we go to PSG real quick, he's also leaving to Saudi. Absolutely guaranteed. He left the club, already played his last game. Messi played his last game for PSG. And of course, PSG added another title of Ligue 1 of the French League to their cabinet. They won it. With Messi. So now Messi adds also another competition or another league that he added to his career. We can't not talk about Julian Nagelsmann and Thierry Henry. What? What brought these two in one sentence? Hey, they might become, Julian Nagelsmann might become the PSG manager and Thierry Henry is his assistant. Yes, to replace Gautier in PSG. So that's probably why Nagelsmann said no to Chelsea. When they came at him, he said, nah, thank you very much. I'm going to go take on PSG. I have Mbappe, and I'm going to go win a Champions League. We don't know. And now Thierry Henry is his assistant. Thierry Henry is a great, great, great footballer. He's one of the best of all time. Number 14, of course. So young players, they love to work with him and hear his advice to them because he's been there, he's done that, and we know TT is a legend. So Julian Nagelsmann and Thierry Henry in PSG, that's a strong combination. They may be with Mbappe and the current players they have, they may go all the way and get a Champions League win, and that's what they're after, of course, and that's why I'm saying that they're going to sack Gautier, or he may leave on good terms because, listen, them winning the Ligue 1, that's okay for them. They don't want that. They want the Champions League. So we'll see. Once again, we appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and like and share. We'll come back to you with more transfer. It looks like this summer is very, very hot. Big names, Karim Benzema, Lionel Messi, Sergio Ramos, big names, Sergio Busquets, a lot of names moving to Saudi Arabia, a lot of transfer market rumors, a lot going on. Even people are approaching our very own captain, Martin Odegaard. So hopefully, he stays, and they all are rumors. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next episode.